Hello from Delmarva. Happy Independence Day. So actually yesterday was 4th of July. We just had about 2.5 inches of rain spread over really 3 days. We had the bulk of it the first day, and then scattered showers the next day, and then a surprise 2/10 of an inch the day after that. So it's been too wet to do anything in the fields. So right now, we might be able to start planting beans today. I think we should. The sun's out pretty good, and that wheat straw that Eugene has already cut should be dry enough. The problem with wheat straw when you try to plant into it is if it's still wet, it's flexible and it doesn't shatter. So what happens is the no-till coulters underneath there, when they're riding in front of our disc openers, those coulters won't slice and break the wheat straw. What'll happen is it'll actually just bend it down into the ground, and then the bean will get planted on top of that straw, and then that wheat straw, as it dries, will actually pop out and push the bean back out of the ground. So you gotta make sure it's dry when you're planting in a wheat straw, otherwise you can have issues. It's what they call pinning, where it pins the straw down in the ground, it doesn't break it, and then the bean comes flying back out. Right now what I'm doing is changing the transmissions up to increase our population. We were about 150,000 seeds an acre, and because it's getting later in the season and the beans won't grow as tall, they won't bush out as much, they need to have more plants per acre to make up that difference. So we're gonna plant about 180, I think with you can't get 180,000 exactly with this planter. I think with everything, it comes out to be about 181,700 is what the gearing is for. By the time you figure overlap and skips and doubles and all that, it comes out somewhere close. So anyway, that's what I gotta do. I gotta finish, I already got that transmission over there done. I gotta do this one now. So bear with me, let me get this done. The fun stuff is coming because I'm hoping I can cut wheat today. We're gonna take off and go down and look at the wheat and see just how much moisture is still in it. Might have to wait another day. I'm hoping not, because I'd like to get it done. Come on. Shit. I'm gonna have to hit all this again because this header's been running right in the dirt, really, because we had so much down wheat. Even though I'm not sure if we're gonna be cutting wheat today, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything greased. And we gotta move the combine out anyway to blow it off and blow the cab out and all that good stuff, clean windows. But it's cooler in here than it is out there, so I'm gonna grease it while it's sitting in here under the shade. Because, well, 2 reasons. I'm fat and I sweat a lot. And I'm made of sugar, so when I sweat, I'll melt. It's not a good combination. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. There we go. So, for those of you who don't know, a lot of machinery is this way, combine especially. There are certain grease points that you grease every day. Depending on how hard you're running, it wouldn't be unwise to grease it twice a day. Then they've got some that you grease every 50 hours, and there's some you grease every 100, and then there's some you only grease once a season. Like the wobble box up there on the header, which makes the cutter bar go back and forth, you only grease that once a season. And if you over grease it, you will tear the seals up in it and be replacing a wobble box, and that's pretty expensive. But a lot of times, they give us these handy dandy cheat sheets, and it gives you a good idea of what to grease when, how often. A lot of times we go a little bit sooner than the 100-hour mark. We usually do them weekly, and for us, weekly you're running 50 hours. Our combine stays greased. We know how to use a grease gun, and that's important to keeping your equipment from wearing out too soon. So if you look back to the video where I was spraying and took the drone real high and showed, we were only like 4 or 5 miles from the ocean here. This is that field of wheat that's mature now. Obviously it was little and green when we were spraying it. The chaff itself is dry enough and it will shell fine, but the wheat kernels are still wet. This thing gives me about a foot on each side to get out the door. And it's got about, I don't know, a half inch between the roof up there. It's tight with these new tires on. Sure, why not? Where's in there? Grab the bucket. Bring it over here. I'm gonna dump these beans back in here. We had to dump all our water out again because the algae got into this tank again. We gotta come up with something different. Find a cover to put this thing under, or get a black tank or something. But this is becoming a pain in the keister. I'll worry about that later. I gotta go help Eugene get the planter set up. Make sure that we're at a good depth going into no-till wheat stubble like that. Our markers will probably need to be adjusted for down pressure on them. Oh, fudge. I don't know what it is about farming that requires that all batteries must die at the most inopportune times. And I gotta take the gator now because I don't have any of my jump boxes over here. Struggle bus. We are riding the struggle bus. Left the key on in the truck. Battery's dead. Well, as you can see, things have changed dramatically. We started trying to set the planter up, running the trash whippers and all that to get to this straw. The problem being, I know I bellyached about this before, but where the co-op really screwed this field of wheat up and we had to cut it so low, the mat is so thick, it's not gonna dry out. I mean, we just scratched across the top and it's still wet down there. So trying to get the beans down into the ground and get the trash out of the way is almost impossible. So we've got to chop it up using the landau. We got to do it twice. We got to run in, our normal angle and then got to run it this way. So this is just more added expense and headache that co-op created for us. If you can't tell, I'm pissed. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm pissed. This is wasting our time, wear and tear on equipment and money. Well, we're out here finally cutting wheat, and my wife's brother and his son, my nephew, Evan, are here. Say hi, guys. Hello. So Evan is from Texas, and that's where they live right now, is in Texas. So they don't get to do this that often. So Evan, you've never been in a combine, have you?
What do you think so far, Evan?
Good. Oh, he was a little chatty Cathy a minute ago. Now he doesn't want to talk. I'll give you an update. The wheat's doing fair. Of course, we've had a lot of areas that got drowned out, as you saw in the video. But where it's standing, it's pretty good. I don't know how many bushels to the acre we're getting. It looks about like what Eugene had over on his farm, so I would say 75, 80, somewhere in there. It's coming in good into the bin back here. And where our spots are good, they're really good. But then we have spots like this to show you. That big green area over there has absolutely no wheat in it. And we've got quite a few spots throughout the whole farm that are just that way. Take the good with the bad. I think we've got enough here that we can fill our contracts. But I'm debating whether we're going to do wheat again. I really hate to base it on this year because it was so wet this winter. It was unprecedented, the amount of rain that we had, and it never dried up. It just stayed wet. We might try it again. We'll see. But next year will be corn anyway. All right, I'm going to get back to threshing wheat. Want to say bye? Bye. Bye. Very monotone. You figured you'd be more excited about riding in big equipment. Well, my nephew and brother-in-law left. My son joined me. Kind of. One thing about this combine is all you hear is the rumble. It'll put you to sleep. And then, with the gentle vibration and rocking back and forth, This thing will put you right to sleep. So I can't blame him. It's hot out. But wheat's cutting good. I'll be honest, I'm just looking to break even on this crop. I'll be happy if we do that. With the way the year went, with how wet it was, yeah, this wheat's been through a lot. Well, I'm gonna turn the radio on and have me a little country or rock concert in here. Try to get this truck loaded, let him take a nap, and that'll be it, I think, for cutting wheat today. We don't have anything else to do. But Eugene's over landalling his to try to see if we can get it, maybe start planting tonight. So I'll probably, when I get done what I can do here, I'll probably go over and try to help him do what he's got to do. Look how tall that grass is. Have to upgrade Emmett's title to combine operator, heavy equipment connoisseur, wheat chomper, wheat whacker. Well, that's going to do it. Got this whole side of the farm done. And we got there's 5 acres across the road here we couldn't get on the truck, and we got about half of the field left and the combine's full. So that's gonna be it. Little man and I are gonna get going, take the truck back to the house. Go ahead. Is this the Bishopville biker gang? That's gonna do it for us today. The truck is ready to go to the mill. We'll do that in the morning first thing.
Hey Dad.
Yeah.
When you go to the mill, can you wake me up?
You want to go with me?
Yeah.
All right. I'll go finish disking where Eugene's planting his wheat. Boy, they're noisy. And we'll get back to cutting wheat, and I'll finish cutting wheat tomorrow, as long as nothing happens. Yeah. So with that, thank you all for watching, and goodbye from Delmarva. Shorebilly Farmer, out. Go to sleep, little Shorebilly. Close your eyes. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous.